You know the biotechs have been on fire, including today's monster, nearly 10% gain in Biogen IDEC, which I told you would happen, and the many others that are up huge since I recommended them only a couple of months ago: Esperion, Novavax, Receptos, BioMarin, Amicus Therapeutics, TG Therapeutics, and Horizon Pharma. Remember we did that big block of shows? Well, all of them are up anywhere from between 28 to 132% since mid-January. At this point, I think it might be time to actually start thinking about ringing the register if you haven't already, taking some profits, taking a little off the table. But I still think these names are worth highlighting, these red-hot companies, which is why tonight we need to focus on Prothena, P-R-T-A. That's a development-stage biotech that develops immunotherapies for diseases driven by protein misfolding or cell adhesion. This is tough stuff. Prothena worth more than $9 today, or 32%, in wake of some terrific data on its first human study of PRX002. That's a drug it's been developing along with its partner, deep-pocketed partner, Roche, to treat Parkinson's disease, an area where there's a huge unmet medical disease. I mean, wow. Plus, the company's also got a formulation in phase 1 to treat amyloidosis, which you might remember hearing about on the nearly every single episode of House. Now, if you already own Prothena, I have to admit that maybe you're being a tad greedy if you haven't taken a little something off the table. That said, given how the biotechs have been performing of late, I wouldn't be surprised if this one keeps running. So let's take a closer look with Dale Schenk, the president and CEO of Prothena, to learn more about his company, where it's headed. Dr. Schenk, welcome to Mad Money.
Thank you very much.
All right, doctor, tell me first, this is a terrible disease. My father had it, so I know as soon as I heard Parkinson's, I knew there's really nothing out there. I don't want to get people's hopes up, but it does sound like you have something early on that could be very meaningful for Parkinson's people.
Well, exactly. As it turns out, you know Parkinson's disease, as you mentioned, and I'm sorry to hear about your father, but there are a number of very good treatments to deal with the symptoms currently, but there's nothing to deal with the progression of the disease. And PRX002, we believe, is the beginning of a wave or a new concept to go after the progression of the disease. It turns out that at the core of the disease is a protein or a gene called synuclein. It's the bad actor in the disease. And it tends to aggregate in nerve cells and cause them to dysfunction. And so what we've done is to develop a protein immunotherapy or an antibody to go after synuclein. And what we've just reported are the phase 1 data from that initial study. We looked at safety and tolerability of PRX002, and it looks to be safe and well tolerated. And we also looked at the ability of the antibody to actually target and neutralize synuclein in the blood, and it nicely, literally reduced free synuclein down to levels of just down 96% after just a single dose, which is, of course, a big result. And so we're very pleased.
Okay,
go ahead.
How many people were in the study?
We had about 40 people in the study. Okay. These are healthy volunteers. And so a decent-sized study to, as I say, assess the safety and tolerability.
Okay, yeah. And also, I mean, when we look at this, this is a disease where there'll be people right now getting their hopes up, like I had my hopes up. So I want to impress upon people, this is phase 1. It's early on. No matter what, it's not like we're going to see this on the market, even if everything goes right next year at this time.
Yeah, no, it is phase 1, and I'm glad you pointed that out. It is early. There's, as you know, 3 phases of clinical testing, and in fact, there's not a hard timetable. I can't say exactly at this month and day when it would be available if all goes well. But even as early as it is, as I mentioned to you, this is sort of a very new approach. And it's actually the same conceptual approach that was just announced with Biogen for A-beta immunotherapy. Oh, okay. The idea is to go after the culprit, the misfolded protein, in this case synuclein. And as I said, the initial data show that we're targeting it and neutralizing it nicely.
All right,
we also have go ahead.
But your partner's Roche, right? I know
Absolutely,
you have a lot of money already raised, so it's not like obviously anything can change. You could do a secondary, whatever. But do you feel like you have enough firepower to be able to complete the study without having to go raise a lot of money or have Roche make a deal with you where the upside might be cut off?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're very well capitalized. We reported at the end of last year, $294 million at the balance of the year. Roche is very, very committed. They're a great partner to see this through. So there's absolutely no concerns in that regard. It's full steam ahead. And in fact, we have another study ongoing where it's in Parkinson's patients, what we call a multiple dose study that's literally underway right now. We're going to get a lot more information from that study as well. We'll be talking about that particular next study next year. So, we hope to come back and share with the community our progress in this area. We are indeed very, very excited about it.
Okay, well, it sounds like you should be, and I hope you continue to share it with us. Having just watched what Parkinson's can do, anything that anybody could come up with would really be urgent. Thank you so much to Dr. Dale Schenk, who's the president and CEO of Prothena Corporation. Good to see you, sir.
No, thank you very much.
Okay, guys, it's PRTA. Remember, these are very early stage. This is very, very speculative. So, I mean, take your time, do some work on it, please. Get comfortable if you want to buy it. But understand the unmet need of Parkinson's is pretty extraordinary. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.